The dollar to silver ratio is going up. It is now sitting at $166 per ounce. We're going to go over this in a second, so stay tuned. But also, the paper to silver ratio is over 400 to 1. What does this all mean? Let's get into it. SD Bullion is giving away a monster box of 2024 Tree of Life silver coins. Sign up today at sdbullion.com/sweepstakes. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. From time to time, I like to take a look at the US debt clock. There's a lot of important numbers here, a lot of data, a lot of things we can learn from this website. Okay, the first thing we're going to look at is the US national debt. It is sitting at $34.8 trillion. Now, I'll be honest with you. I used to look at this website back in the day and say, oh, 20 trillion, 25 trillion, 30 trillion. These are crazy numbers. It keeps going up. I'm kind of numb to it now. I mean, this could say 40 trillion, 100 trillion, 100 quadrillion, and I'd be like, yeah, it's high. We're never paying it back. It's all made up anyway. These are just numbers. This is talking about a fiat currency, which can and will be hyperinflated. Why does it cost $2 for a cup of coffee? Why not $10? Why not $100? Why not $100 trillion for a cup of coffee? It's all made up anyways, right? Dollars are made by humans. It's a human invention. So I'm kind of numb to this. They're never going to pay it back. And, well, I mean, eventually it'll all implode. So there's the U.S. national debt. There's your update. It's all doom and gloom. No, there is hope, right? We can look at precious metals. Precious metals are real money. They're not created by humans. They're an element that exists on this earth, and the only way to get more of them is to mine more of them or refine or recycle. We can't simply snap our fingers. A government can't say, we're increasing the silver supply to 100 trillion ounces this year. No, they can't do it, right? Okay, enough of that. Let's take a look at the dollar to silver ratio. It is currently sitting at 166 US dollars per ounce of silver. Now, what does this number mean? Well, I'll tell you what it doesn't mean. It's not saying that silver should be $166 per ounce. No. This is simply the year-over-year increase in the U.S. M2 money supply divided by the yearly world production of silver in ounces. Now, you might be asking, what is the U.S. M2 money supply? According to Investopedia, M2 is a measure of the money supply that includes cash, checking deposits, and other deposits readily convertible to cash, such as CDs. Now, there's an M1, an M2, and an M3. Why do we use M2 and not M1? Well, M1 is an estimate of cash, checking, and savings account deposits only. It does not include the deposits that are readily convertible to cash, so it's not as good for measuring inflation. What about M3? Another money supply number. M3 includes all of the above plus large institutional cash deposits. However, it is only published quarterly, not monthly. So M2 is one of the best measurements we have for how much currency is being created every single month. So if we take a look at M2, you can see it's been going up steadily since the 60s. It had a huge jump up in 2020 because of all the currency creation during COVID. However, if we look at just the last 10 years, you can see it actually started to go down in 2022. This is because the Fed raised rates so high that people were not taking out loans, businesses were not taking out loans, so less currency was being created. I mean, that's a very simplified reason, but it essentially is why we saw the money supply drop for a couple of years, and it just recently started to go back up again. We can see it is now on the rise, which is why we are now seeing the dollar to silver ratio hit $166 per ounce. Now, this number was actually 0 for the last couple of years. It's only recently gone positive. So why does this number matter? The bottom line is that you can't print more silver, but you can print more dollars. And they're going to continue to print more dollars forever until they can't do it anymore. And again, the whole system implodes. Now, if we look at the dollar to silver ratio over the last 5 years, which of course this does include all of that currency creation during COVID, we can see it is over $1,500 per ounce. Once again, not saying that silver should be $1,500 per ounce. Just interesting to note that it is so much higher than what we have seen in the past. Back in 1913, when the Fed was created, we can see it was just $2.77 per ounce. So obviously they're creating more currency at a faster pace now, and this is causing lots of inflation. We're still seeing that today, and we're seeing the price of silver go up as well. Now, it is true that more silver is being mined every single day so far in 2024. We can see here 433 million ounces of silver have been mined. Compare that to only 51 million ounces of gold. That's around 8 or 9 times more silver than gold being mined so far this year. However, when we look at the precious metal reserves, we can see they are being depleted, albeit very slowly. But if things don't change, if the current pace continues and we extrapolate this out far enough into the future, eventually we would run out of precious metal reserves. Okay, now let's get to the thing I've been wanting to talk about, the paper to silver ratio, which is now over 400 to 1. So what is the paper to silver ratio? Well, this is simply the amount of paper or not real ounces of silver that are being traded on the major world exchanges compared to how many ounces of silver have been mined so far this year. We look at futures, we look at ETFs, and it is 400 ounces to 1. So for every 1 ounce of silver that's being mined so far this year, there's 400 paper ounces of silver being traded. This is absolutely ridiculous. If you are buying silver ETFs and you think you own silver, I'm here to tell you, you do not own silver. The only way you own silver is if you can hold it in your hand. If you can't hold it, you do not own it. You have a coupon for silver that will never ever be redeemed. So keep that in mind. If you want real money, if you want to get out of this manipulated, messed up system, you have to buy the physical ounces of gold or silver. That's the only way. So once again, US Debt Clock, an excellent resource. Check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. There's so much more that we didn't even talk about in this video. But did you learn anything? Let me know down below in the comment section. Also, did I miss anything? Please feel free to comment below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.